Okay, welcome guys. So this is Pycoders Academy Python course, and in our previous video, we were looking at comparison, and we learned about those comparison operators and how to apply them and how to store it in variables and print them out. So I said we will be using it in this video, which is the introduction to conditional statement. So conditional statements are just statements with condition. So let's say uh, you are home and your mom will say, okay, so if when you go home, if your father is there, if your father is there, tell him to, let's say, call me. So this is a conditional statement. They said if your father is there. So if your father is there, tell him he should call me. So this is a conditional statement. Then he can bring also else, don't else, call me yourself. So you can say if your father is there, call me, or else call me yourself. So simple. So this is a conditional statement. So we are just using the if then the else. Okay. So in conditional statement, the syntax is, so how we use it is the type of conditional statement, then the statement, then we bring a colon to just end the line, that statement line, then we bring some code here. Okay, so type of conditional statement, then some code. So here, before you type the some code, you have to use the tap to tap it. So here is it, then you tap it. But in Python, when, okay, let's see, in Python, when the colon is here and you want to type, a new, let's say, let's say, quote on a new line, when you press the enter and the statement you wrote was a conditional statement, it will be tapped by itself. But here we are not using the conditional statement, so we have to tap it by ourselves. So some code. Okay, so this the tap. Where is this? Okay, this is the tap. The space between the space, the space between here and here. Okay, so now let's break this syntax down. So the first one we look at is the type of conditional statement. So the type of conditional statement, as I gave in the example, we use the if and the else. So it's the same here. Here the types of the conditional statement are the if statement, the elif statement. The elif statement is just we are saying else if, and we have just removed the the s and e to make it elif. So we are just saying else if. So the first is if, then the elif is the else if, then we move on to the next one, which is the else, just else. So first is if, and the second is elif, which is else if, then the last is else. So those are the types of conditional statements we have. Okay, so we are done with this part of the syntax. Then we move on to the next one. The next one is the statement. So the statement we use should give a boolean result. As we did previously, what we were doing was comparing to, let's say we have print, then 2 equals 3. So let's run this code. So we are getting false here. 2 is not equal to 3. So this is a boolean result. So this is a type of statement we can use in this conditional statement. So we can use this statement in the conditional statement because they give a boolean result. Okay, so I think we are done with the statement, and the colon ends the first line of the conditional statement. So this line, so the colon ends this line. Without the colon, we will get an error. Then the quotes, let's say the sum of code here, quotes or sum of code after the colon is tapped. So you have to tap it. You have to tap it. That's the syntax. It's not me who is creating this. So it's just Python. Yeah, so you have to tap it. Okay, so now we have broken the syntax down, and explain each of them. So the first one is type of conditional statement, which we said it is the if, then the elif, then the else. Then the statement is it should give us a boolean result. Then the sum of code is any code in Python. Okay, so let's look at an example, even though you don't understand the if, elif and else. So let's look at an example. Let's say if let's give a variable name x equals, let's say 2, and you say if x equals 2. Remember, the equality sign is two equal signs. When we use only one, we are assigning the 2 to x. So then we end it with our colon. Then you see it got tabbed by itself. So when you are here and you click it, it will be tabbed. Okay, so then we bring our code. Let's say print, and we say yes. So simple. Then let's run this code. Don't worry if you don't understand, I'm just showing you something. So yes. Okay, so here we are saying x equals 2, and so this is the type of conditional statement, which is the if statement, and this is the let's say this is the statement which is a boolean, which gives us a boolean result. So we can just check here, let's say print x equals, okay, let's do x equals, let's say 2. Let me clear this now. You let me cut this so that it won't be printed out. So cut. Okay, so let's run this code. So you can see we have true, so it gives us a boolean result. So the statement should give us a boolean result. Okay, so let's clear this and put our code, previous code here. Okay, so we understand this is the conditional statement type, then this is the statement, then the sum of code here. So this is the colon that ends the line, the statement line, then this is the sum of code. So any code here. So that's how the conditional statement is written. So the type here, the statement here, it is tabbed, the colon should be present, and the sum of codes. So we are done with the introduction. So in our next video, we will be treating those types in detail. So the if statement, the elif statement, then the else statement. Okay. So let's thank you for watching, then let's move on to the